here's the setup. We're going to see a regular piece of wood. Going to compare a regular piece of wood strength-wise compared to a piece of wood with gussets that are 1/16 into the wood, regular size of 1/16 piece of plywood. We'll compare those to our base line is no gussets, and gussets on the 1/16 gussets without being routered into the wood. So just regular gussets on top of the wood. And we're going to compare the strength of each three of those. I've got two of each built up there. So let's start with a baseline. Piece of wood, all the same size, all the same length, fir, and we'll just hang it on there. We'll fill the bucket up with water until she breaks, till we get a baseline, and then we'll compare the other gussets. All right, starting off, I've got water to here, and I've got a mark on there where I know it is. And now we'll just start adding water to our base measurement. So this is what happens when your base holds more than what you've got. Okay. Let me think what to do here. That's a full bucket there. So it holds that. Will it hold the second one? Yep, that's the other base. Now, I don't know. I'll pour it out down to where we marked it. That's that first rib on there. Now, these are the ones that are routered in gussets. Let's see how they hold. It's right near the top there on that one. Put one more in without it overflowing. Just. So, the gusset that is embedded is holding as well. Oops, spilling. That's how full this stupid thing is. I'll try the other one here. Dang it. It's holding as well. Now, I'm suspecting there's going to be no problem holding this one because this is the gusset that's on the top. Yeah, no problem there either. All right, I'm going to have to get more weight. Hang on. All right, this will be test number 2. I've got a scale. I had to go and buy a scale. I don't actually own one, but I guess I'll need one for doing weight and balance. And what we're going to do is put the little bottle jack on the scale, lifting, and just 2 pieces of the plumber's, whatever you call it, holding the wood in place. So that should hold the wood in place. We'll watch the scale and see how high it gets for each one. And hopefully that will give us an idea of the breaking force between the regular wood, the inset, and the gusset just sitting on top. Now, I'm gonna have you, I don't know if I can get you looking at both the wood and the scale measurement. So it might have to be just the scale measurement, and then that way we can go back and look at the instant replay to see exactly where it broke. Let me set you up here. Now, did you get that, or did my battery die again? That's the plain wood. Okay, there's 30 kilograms. $47. So 50 kilograms that one broke at. And then that first one broke at about 45 kilograms. Okay, so we've got our baseline. We're looking at somewhere between 45 to 50 kilograms that first one held. Back at her, got it hooked up again. Now we're looking at 16, 26, 29. Oh, it started to come apart there at 29. You see just a crack along there. It wasn't actually that, but it cracked right where I dug into. Here's test number 2 with the inset one. I'm already up to 20. 26. 33. And that let go at about 30 is where it gave out. And that's where she broke there. And it brought up the wood. That wasn't a glue joint. You can see it's actually split the wood there. Alright, on to number 3. That's the one where the gusset is just placed on top. 26. And that let go at about 39. And it's split right there. So that is just about at the same as the bare wood. Let's try another one there. Okay, let's try it again. 39, 45, about 45 that one gave out at. See that right in the middle she let go. Alrighty, let's examine what are the results. The base wood held to about 40 kilograms on average there. I think it was 39, 41, in around there. The ones with the gussets on the outside were about the same. They're right around 40 kilogram mark. The ones with the inset gussets didn't hold up as well. They only held to about 30 kilograms. So there is a difference there for sure. One of the things to mention though, compared to my setup, this is only 3/8 wood compared to 3/4 wood, and you're taking a 1/16 out of a smaller piece of wood on each side. So instead of having 3/4, you've only got 3/8, and you're taking the same amount of the gusset out of there. So it'd be interesting to do a test with the full 3/4 inch. Now I'm sure that the 3/4 will still break with the gussets in there probably before the 3/8 did, like relative to each other. But the 3/4 is going to be a stronger piece of wood in general than the 3/8, obviously. Is it going to be enough and satisfy me for the rest of it? Yeah. The horizontal stabilizer has bracing in the middle of both ends there. The forces acting on that are going to be held by the bracing going up to the vertical stabilizer. So that's going to be held in position. It's going to lessen the amount of forces up and down. And that's what we were measuring, is this force, the bending force in and out. Now, compared to the wood sitting on top, this will be a weaker unit. But is it going to be strong enough for what it's intended for? I'm sure. And Dave at Flying Fisher has confirmed that you can inset those gussets. That being said, these are only supposed to be 3/4 by 3/4. Mine are actually considerably bigger. This is actually 1 inch, and this is about 11/16 to 15/16. So this is pretty wide. This altogether is just about 2 inches. So it's almost an inch each there. So that's a considerably bigger piece of wood than the plans indicate. On the elevator, I am erring on the side of caution. I put this one just on top. The elevator doesn't have bracing on each end, and this was the weak part, that it twists in the middle. Again, this is just about 2 inches, so I've increased the size of the wood coming through here. We'll have to see where it matches up in here. I don't know if I'll have to take a little bit more out here to see how much space there is for the rudder to fit in there, so we're going to cut that later on. This gusset is just sitting on top. On the back side, I've got them inset. And what I might do is just put another gusset even on top of here to make that a laminated piece of wood right through there to beef that up, to stop that twisting rotation that's in here. And the reason for that is, again, there is no bracing on this. It's the elevator, it's going up and down, so you don't have bracing like you do with the horizontal stabilizer. So you want to get that as beefy as you can without adding too much weight. These joints aren't as important strength-wise. You've got lots of bracing in this direction. This distance to this distance, I don't see there being a lot of stress on one particular side or another, especially considering that the weak part is probably going to be in the middle here. With these gussets, what I'll do is, I've already embedded them on the other side. I'm going to embed them on this side. Again, this is over 3/4 by 3/4. This is closer to, again, you're probably looking at 9/16 to 7/8 thick compared to, it's supposed to be 3/4 by 3/4. So I've got plenty of beef on that elevator that I'm not worried about it. You can see the trim tab in here, and you can see the difference in the 3/4 compared to how big I've got these in here. This one's getting close to 7/8 of an inch wide here. We'll cut out the trim tab afterwards and fit the hinges in there. One other thing with the elevator and horizontal stabilizers, you actually cut right into the wood here to insert. The hinges will go here and along here. So again, I've got a beefier spar there. We're cutting into that to put the hinges in there anyway. So that little bit of inset in there, it doesn't worry me at all. The plans don't even mention anything about insetting or not insetting. If you go to the plans, it's pretty loosey-goosey on how it's described, especially for the hinges. Just cut holes in there, bore it out, and put the hinges in there. So not a lot of detail. Again, the inset wood definitely broke before the wood with the gussets on the outside. On these surfaces, that bending motion isn't as great or as it would be on something on a larger scale, like a wing, for example. I would want to inset that for sure because you've got a huge amount of area that's flexing on that. With the elevator and the horizontal stabilizer, there's relatively little bending force, especially when you've got bracing that's coming up and holding that wing. So really, it's only from here out to here that there's a real bending motion, and that's going to be relatively small. The bending motion here is going to be supported by the braces that come off and go up to the vertical stabilizer. So I'm not worried about that. And on the elevator, all of this is beefed up. And again, that bending motion is right in the middle here that you're going to get that twisting. The hinges are attached to there, which is going to almost be like bracing for the elevator. The hinges are in here, and it's being connected to the horizontal stabilizer. So that's holding the elevator flat as well. I just wanted to test it to see what the difference was. I was a little surprised that it broke that much earlier than these ones, but you never know. So the stats are correct. Flying Fisher says it's okay to do that. I'm doing it, and I've described what I feel is a fine limit to doing that. I'm going to go ahead and inset these gussets on there, and that's going to be that. I will see on the elevator or on the rudder and vertical stabilizer where I think that I can inset, or whether I go with putting it on the outside like I did here, just to beef up certain spots. On the rudder, it might be. I'll get the plans out here in the next couple days and we'll go over that. And we'll go from there. Is it just me, or is the quality of everything nowadays just shit? I just put this sandpaper on here. This is about the third sheet I put on. And it literally only lasts, I don't know, sanding a few little things and it's getting all ripped and torn. Just on a rant about the quality of shit nowadays. Anyone got any suggestions of a good quality sandpaper? I just bought this crap at the big box store. I don't know. Horizontal stabilizer and elevator are done. There's the trim tab. Now I've got the hinges ordered, so there's going to be little hinges that go in there to attach the two. That's basically done except for the hinges. Now I'm going to do the rudder. I've got the plans laid out for the rudder. I'll get the rudder completed. The vertical stabilizer gets built onto the fuselage. So after I get the rudder done, and it'll be completed, then I'll take the fuselage plans, set them out here, get the fuselage done, and then the vertical stabilizer gets built onto the fuselage. And then we can attach the rudder afterwards. But that's it. Moving on from horizontal stabilizer and elevator to rudder and then fuselage.